So this is my final video here. So for this project, I was a leader, and I did all the things you have to do to get this thing started before any work can get done. I came up with the idea, I named the game, I designed the character, and came up with a basic story so that we could start working. I also made these screens that kind of explain that, the part of the game, the start screen in the back, and then this first story screen and this one. And in the game they have little buttons. So these screens are part of the libgdx game screen, and they're controlled by the main game loop. As you click, it tells it to go to the next one and go to the next one. And the little buttons are sprites, and they have their own listeners. I also, as I said, I designed the main character and all the characters in the game, and some of the skills. I drew them. I made sprite sheets for them so that they could appear on screen. And the basic way their sprite sheet works is all these little guys here are an equal distance apart. They're in a 100 by 100 square. You can't really see it there, but they are. And as the computer reads it, it just reads every 100 pixels down the next image and shows it on the screen. And it shows it in the loop. And that's how the animation works. So the characters, they wait for Bernard to be around. And when he gets within 5 squares of them, they become active. And then once they're active, they move toward him. And this little math formula here is basically the program it uses. It gets the distance from them to Bernard, uses a absolute value to determine which axis to move on the axis that's greater, and then uses the actual distance to decide which direction. So like if you're above Bernard, then your distance minus his will be a positive distance, and your character will have to move down. And in the pictures here, you can see this guy would need to move this way first, and this guy would need to move up this way. They were going to try to close on Bernard and attack him. That's what the characters do. They try to get close to him. When they get into attack range, they change. The characters have a walking animation and an attacking animation, and the animation also changes when they get to the attacking distance. So sometimes to get to Bernard, they have to go around stuff, including each other. In this case, the Wrecker is here blocking the Wanderer's way. The Wanderer needs to get to this spot to attack, but he'll be moving in this way first because of the way the algorithm is set up. So here, the first thing he does when he's blocked is just look at these diagonal spots. If he can move to one of them, he just moves to it. For larger obstacles, they basically just look to see how big the obstacle is. So they look at this spot and this spot, etc. And when they find the end of it, they go towards the smaller location. So this Wrecker would move this way and around this thing to get to Bernard. So these are the antagonists and skills that I did. The things I just described, like the basic strategy of finding Bernard and moving to him, and then changing attack structures, is common to all of the antagonists, and I set that up. And then whenever I made changes to it, I would go into the other antagonists that Joe B had made and fix it. So I basically did programming work on all of the antagonists, but these are the ones I was in charge of and the ones I was assigned to do. The Drunk and the Wanderer and the Wrecker and the Blues Man and the Hammer, and then the 2 skills for the distance characters, the blue skill and the hammer down skill. And we can see all that stuff happening right here. So here's the start screen. And here's the first story screen. And these screens, they play music, and they have images, and they have a little story. Sort of sets out everything the character, like, gets the guy ready to play the game. And it's know what kind of game that it is. And then there's the last story page there. And then you start. So there's all my bad guys, all in a row. And if I just move away, then we'll see some of their behaviors change. Right? So the Wrecker quit tagging, and they sort of move around each other. You can see some of that. So now we'll come back and fight with these guys. We're going to get this button. Got a trap. Why is he not attacking? There. Kill this guy. Okay. I'm gonna kill them, otherwise it'd be a mess over here. So over here we'll see the walk around the wall behavior. There's that guy. He comes up, then he goes diagonal, and he goes diagonal again. And so that is what I did for this project. Thank you.